Hi everyone. Do you remember, oh gosh, it was like several weeks ago, where Abraham and Sarai went down to Egypt? And when the Pharaoh of Egypt asked Abraham who was Sarai, he said it was his sister, and he kind of got in trouble for lying. Well, guess what? Isaac now makes the same mistake as his father. And it says that there was a famine in the land, and it ties it in saying just like there was a famine in Abraham's time. So Isaac went to the Abimelech king of the Philistines in Gerar. And he said, and the Lord tells Isaac, don't go down to Egypt, but go where I tell you to go. Stay in this land, with the land of the Philistines, for a while, and I will be with you and bless you. For you and your descendants I will give all these lands, and will confirm the oath I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and will give them these lands, and through your offspring all nations on earth will be blessed, because Abraham obeyed me and kept my requirements, my commands, my decrees, and my laws. Right there in a couple of verses, we pretty much go through the whole basic story of Abraham and the covenant that God made with him. And now God is reminding Isaac, if you do what I say, I will bless you and your descendants like I promised Abraham that I would. So it says that Isaac stayed where God told him to stay. And then the men of that place asked him about his wife. And he, just like his father, said, that is my sister, because he was afraid to say that was his wife. Because he thought the men of this place might kill me on account of Rebekah, because she is so beautiful if they know that she is my wife. So then he had been there a long time, and the people there quickly figured out that Rebekah was actually Isaac's wife. And the king was really, really mad at Isaac. And he's like, she is your wife. Why did you say she is your sister? And Isaac answers him saying, because I thought you guys would, kill me, which isn't the greatest excuse. He still lied. And the king, and Abimelech, the king says, well, why have you done this? You would have brought guilt upon us if some of us made a mistake thinking that she was your sister and not your wife. So Abimelech gave orders to all the people. Anyone who tries to harm Isaac or Rebekah would surely be put to death. And we find out, and we'll find out next week, that Isaac stayed in that land. And even though he made a mistake and, lied about his relationship with Rebekah, God still keeps his promise to Isaac, because God is a promise keeper, even when we mess up. And so our story a whole lot today was reminding us again about telling the truth and not lying like Isaac did and like his father Abraham did before him. And so we have a verse from Proverbs. Proverbs 14... Proverbs 14:25, which says, a truthful witness saves lives, but a false witness is deceitful. And all this is talking about, and a witness is like if you saw something, you were like a first-hand witness, telling the truth, not lying. And sometimes telling the truth is painful. You think it's easier to lie, but in the end, telling the truth is always better. Because once you tell one lie, you have to tell a second, and then a third, and then a fourth. And it just soon you are caught in this web of lies, and you don't know which is the truth anymore. And it's always better to tell the truth. So tying into that with what we learned with Isaac and our memory verse, our challenge for this week is to think of a time when you lied. How did that work out? Would it have just been easier to tell the truth instead of telling maybe a bunch of lies and then getting caught in your lie? And now having to confess that you lied and you did this other thing? So think about that, and maybe talk with someone about your experience, how you felt. And then what can you do in the future when you might be tempted to lie? hope you guys have fun answering the discussion questions, memorizing Proverbs 14:25, and doing the challenge. As always, I am doing these right along with you. And remember that the story you heard today is more than a story. It is a true account written in the Bible, which is God's love letter and message to the entire world, and that includes you and me. So until next week, bye!